Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening here in the Western Cape, and I have the Field Tarot on the tarot table. I haven't read with this set of cards for a while, but it's quite a high vibe tarot deck, and I like to use it for high vibe women. And the woman that I am looking at today with the Field Tarot is the late Queen, and the very sad story that apparently, according to Neil Sean, when she actually sat down to watch the Oprah interview, because she didn't want to respond before she had actually watched it, she cried. Meghan made the late Queen cry. Not only Meghan allegedly made Catherine cry, and Charlotte, but also now we hear the late Queen. And I was really struck by that. Yesterday the energy was very intense for me, the post full moon energy, so I took a day off, but this really bothered me. It sat with me. It was heavy energy that sat with me and upset me all day, and so I'm back, and this is the story that I'm going to look at first. We're going to look at William in the second reading. Same story. We're going back in the Wayback Machine, and we're going back to the Oprah interview, because it's interesting that these stories are now coming out, and I want to know why. Why do we need to know now that Meghan made the late Queen cry? So we're going to look at it from the Queen's point of view, little 5-card reading, how she felt, what she was really upset about, and then who is leaking the story and why are they leaking it. And Four of Swords came out there, interesting card. And the impact on Harry of hearing this. That's what I really want to know, actually. And both the readings I'm going to do today. How does he feel? Does he know? Does he care? We know that the Parkles follow social media very closely. Well, and this is in the usual places. If they go to the usual platforms. They do allegedly watch Neil Sean, or have people who watch Neil Sean for them, and the various others. We know that they watch the Royal Road. I'll be looking at that, not today. I'll be looking at it in the coming days, that story. So that's what's going on here. I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say is we do know that, of course, Prince Philip was incredibly unwell at the time of the Oprah interview, so she would have been very emotional. She would have known that he was dying, and Meghan had, of course, put out a very snarky statement saying that the royals were pretending that he was ill to deflect from the Oprah interview, to force them to cancel the Oprah interview. Along those lines, I'm misquoting. I'm not deliberately misquoting to make her seem extra bad, but I can't right now remember exactly what happened. But there was some statement from the Sussex camp that his illness was being exaggerated, to something to that effect. And I'm sure that you can correct me in the comments and tell me exactly what happened. But obviously the Queen would have been feeling emotional at that point. So I'm interested to see what cards come up. Little 5-card reading. As I say, I need to shuffle a little bit more, and I need to put my usual disclaimer out. That this is tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all just my opinion. It's all speculation. Read on energy here, archetypal energy involving the archetypal family, the British royal family. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. And I do err on the side of caution here. I do pussyfoot around certain topics. I do try to be cautious. And there is a reason why I do that. I know it's irritating sometimes, and it doesn't always reflect my true self, but I feel that it is necessary to do that for legal reasons. And recent events have confirmed that for me, so we were going to stick with that way of being here on this channel. Just juicing these cards up a bit. I haven't read with them for a while, and so that's what's going on here. Lots of preamble and lots of shuffling for a short reading. Anyway, 5 cards coming up. How did the Queen feel while she watched? Why was she so upset in particular? And who's leaking the story now and why? And does Harry know, does he care what's going on from his point of view? That's where we are. Just knocked the mic. Let's see. And we got the moon. And the moon is an emotional card. It's a very emotional card. It's hidden emotion. It's emotion that's repressed. And everybody always said the Queen didn't really react to anything. There was that famous scene in The Crown, that awful disaster in Wales where the mine heap, whatever the correct name is, collapsed and swept down on that village in Wales, and killed so many children in particular. They were all at school, and people said, oh, she showed up too late and she didn't express any emotion and all of that kind of stuff. She did at some stage look emotional, but generally she's quite impassive. She was quite impassive, quite self-controlled, Taurus. So she would be old school, different generation, the great generation. They went through the war, and very tough. They were made of tough stuff, not like the current, crop of snowflakes and things like that, as they used to be called. And the current crop who went on Oprah to have a good moan about how hard things were for them. So it's repressed emotion. It's secret emotion. It's with the moon there. Stuff that at the time we didn't really know about. A lot of people thought, oh well, royals aren't reacting, they don't care that we're all upset. Why aren't they reacting? Well, apparently behind closed doors there was emotion, and here it is with the moon. So let's see just the general situation we are dealing with today. What story are we dealing with? We're dealing with the 5 of Pentacles. Destitution, it says, yes, it is a financial hardship, but it's more than that. It's exile. It's somebody who left. It's somebody that she loved who left the royal family. Of course, exited. Harry taken away, outcast, exiled, taken to a completely different world, completely different culture, cut off from his family. Meghan cut off from her family by her choice. Now Harry cut off from his family, and she loved him, whatever his flaws, and I think she was very well acquainted with whatever issues he had and continues to have. But there it is. Lost contact with somebody that she cared about, worried about them. You can close the door on somebody when they've gone too far, but it doesn't mean you don't worry about them still, even though you might have no contact with them anymore. And so there it is. That's a 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Discs, a very difficult card, a very painful card actually, for everybody involved in it, the ones who have been exiled, and for the ones left behind who are missing them and worried about them. So her emotions while she was watching, tell us please, what do you want to tell us about her emotions while she was watching? I've got the 4 of Wands, which is, it's not an unhappy card at all. It's the 4 of Wands is, as it says here, a celebration. It's normally a very, very positive card, and it's quite surprising to see a card like that. I would have expected a 10 of Swords or a 3 of Swords or something like that. I felt that energy in the deck when I was shuffling it before I started to record. It's the firm though. It's the it's the foundation, it's the stability of the home. And so I think that she was looking at it, and it's following this 5 of Pentacles. So it's looking at it and wishing that I wouldn't say they, I would say he was back home, back in the safety of the royal family, the security, the stability of the royal family, and also concerned about the royal family, that as she was watching it, she was worried about the firm and how it was going to go. She had things coming up. She had her Jubilee coming up. She would have been very aware of that. Her 70th. All kinds of stuff that was going on in the royal family. How was this going to impact the royal family? Her 70 years of hard work and dedication, devotion. She sacrificed a lot for the royal family. And then here, lo and behold, Oprah interview, all overshadowed, all all threatened. Very, very dangerous times for the royal family. They have emerged quite strong from all of the scandal and the accusations of racism and all the rest of it. But those were perilous times. And a lot of people were saying at that time that this is it. This is the end of the royal family, and all this sacrifice that the Queen had made and all the work she'd done with the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is in here, just by the way, with that Four of Wands, the greater umbrella that a lot of nations fall under and are joined through the royal family to a certain extent. She was worried. She was worried about that. As I say, it's a positive card, but it's telling me a story. So what in particular was she worried about? Even though we've got a celebration card there, as I have explained, I don't read it in that way. What in particular was her concern watching it? Why was she so upset? We've got the Chariot in reverse. And that's the way forward for the royal family, obviously. Chariot is forward motion, is achieving goals. For her, she had certain goals, the 70th Jubilee, that was a big thing, her own goals, but worried that this was all going to unravel, it was going to stop, that journey was going to stop, that long journey, that she was going to be the one that was overseeing the end of this journey, this very, very long, centuries long journey. It's not showing Prince Philip's energy. I suspected we might see him there, but I've already talked about it. This just also is a Prince William energy. It's a Cancerian energy, and we have quite a few candidates there. We've got Diana, we've got Prince William, we've got Thomas Markle. And I think that her mind was on all of them. And I think that she was thinking, in particular, here we've got Diana again. Here we go again. She had a go with the Martin Bashir interview all those years ago, which we all now know, unfortunately, for her and for the royal family and for the boys, for everyone involved, was set up fraudulently with false documents and false tales of spying, and Prince William and the watch that was spying on his mother unbeknown to him and all of that kind of stuff. But I think this is thinking, here we go again. We've got Diana again, and are we going to survive? Are we going to survive with that Four of Wands? And I think she was very hurt by the accusations that the royal family didn't respond well enough to the passing of Diana. Tony Blair, of course, was very quick out the gate to be the hero of the moment, however you feel about it now. But the royal family did look very bad, and the Queen in particular did look heartless and whatever else. And so here it is again. And for somebody who does have emotions, who has suppressed emotions, had emotions, but they were deep and they were hidden. These accusations would have been very hard to push back at. And it's interesting that we've got the moon there in the moon card, and then we've got a moon here in the Chariot. So it's very much telling me that it's her energy, Diana's energy, that was really upsetting. Brought back a lot of, I think, very bad memories. The moon can be about the past as well. It covers many, many things, but it can also be about the past, just by the way. So why is this story coming out now? Who and why? Why is it being leaked now, pushed to the front? What is going on? And we've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and that is a team that is unraveling. And I would say that there is awareness that things are very shaky in Montecito. There are 3 cohabitants allegedly at Montecito. That would be Meghan and Harry, and Meghan's mother Doria allegedly spends a lot of time there, or other people. But that team, and whoever is in that team, doesn't have to be only 3 people. Whoever is in that team is unraveling. It's falling apart. People are leaving. It's no longer as powerful as it was, as influential as it was. And so I'm guessing that this message is being sent out in the hope that as this team collapses, as the bonds loosen, that holds a particular prince in place there in Montecito or in the United States, wherever he is, he spends most of his time, that as those bonds weaken, perhaps the story can get through to him. And by the way, because I think, as far as I can tell, it was Meghan made the Queen cry, and it was really, did you want to be associated with someone like that? That's how I'm reading this card. And of course, as I always say, this is just my opinion. It's my interpretation of the energy. It's my narrative that I get from these cards that I am sharing here. Outcome, Harry. Does Harry know? Does Harry care? How does Harry feel if he's heard the story? Where is he in this now, energetically? Yeah. Ten of Swords. And it's Ten of Swords in reverse. This is epic. Allegedly, the little team started to unravel as a result of the Queen's passing and Meghan's behaviour, her insistence on doing the walkabout, her insistence on getting on that plane and delaying everyone, the people, including Harry, who were trying to get up to Balmoral in time to be there while the Queen was passing. I think they all knew that that was it, but there is it's very important to be there, to witness it, to show your respects at that moment. I know from my own personal experience, and I'm sure many of you do as well. But there it is. That's the Ten of Swords in reverse. That's ruin, that's calamity, that's desolation, despair, a bottom, absolute. How much worse can it get? He loved his grandmother. We saw at the funeral, we saw emotion from Harry. Once he'd got over the fact that he wasn't wearing those embroidered tassel-y things. They have a name, I'm sorry. It's not my forte, military uniforms. And all the ego stuff. Once he got over all the ego stuff and all the insults and hurts that he had been coached, I'm sure, to feel and to be aggrieved about, poison dripping in his ear, in my opinion, there was emotion, and now there is bitter regret at what has happened, at the fact that the Queen had to go through this, albeit hidden, albeit secretly, behind closed doors, privately. Now he knows, he does know, with that Ten of Swords, I'm quite certain of it, from the energy of these cards. And you don't get over that, even though the card is in the reverse, and that, you can interpret a reversed card as saying getting over the negative energy. I don't see that. I see this as something he will always have to carry with him, because it's too late. He can't now go to the Queen and say, I'm so sorry that you were hurt. Can't do it. It's too late. And I think there's going to be a lot of too late in Harry's life from now on. My personal feeling is we are in too late energy now, just as a collective. And that's one of the reasons why this energy is getting so dense and so heavy to read. And I'm fine. Don't worry about me. But I'm aware of this, and I'm aware of this in people. Being an energy reader, and there it is, it's shown up. So that's this reading. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to get on with the next one now.